Hi! Today it's about 3 typical mistakes that almost everyone makes, whether amateur or professional. Even I have to constantly remind and force myself. Mistake number 1, low position. The low position is very important right from the start. On the one hand, it is easier to judge the spin and the trajectory when receiving. In addition, you are ready to attack on half-long serves and use the power of your legs. If you stand too high, you lose time because you still have to go into flexion. If you are already low, you can take the ball earlier and catapult out immediately. In the rally, these few centimeters that you also go a little lower are a game changer. You can generate more quality and you can always use the legs additionally when you are already deep in advance. You can move better and faster overall if there is always some tension on the legs. Sure, it's more demanding of course, but we want to get the maximum out of ourselves, and it's one thing that's very easy to pay attention to, and you improve very easily because of it. Let's move on to the second typical mistake, abdominal tension. I wasn't aware of this for a long time. I used to train a lot of footwork, I did a lot of strength training, but I couldn't implement my athleticism at the table itself. Here, the conscious tensioning of the torso was a real game changer. This permanent body tension during the rallies allowed me to play with a completely different quality. And I was ready to play the next ball sooner. My footwork also got even better. I would even say you automatically move cleanly to the ball when you have a good abdominal tension. But as I said, you have to constantly remind yourself to tighten your stomach. In the beginning, I advise you to tense your belly even between the rallies, so you don't forget it, to do it all the time. It's hard, but it gives you also a nice six-pack. Well, the third typical mistake is not so much about the athletic aspect of table tennis, but more about technique. I would call it the angle of the racket. Due to the extreme rotation of the ball in our sport, mistakes often happen that a layman can't even explain. If we had less spin and more time, as in tennis maybe, this technical aspect would be a little easier. But since we have very little time to react, my philosophy is to have the greatest possible chance to get the best possible quality out of each shot. But how do I go about this? I try to open up the racket more in the backswing phase and to rub around the ball and close the racket during impact. Exaggerated, it looks something like this. With this technique, it is easier to react to some factors like maybe a low bounce, because it's easier and faster to close the racket than to open it suddenly. If you start the movement with closed angle and have to open it at the end, this often results in edge hits, or you often pull the ball over because you hit the ball too flat. I'll just exaggerate a bit with the right and wrong technique to illustrate it a little bit better. Yes, just try everything out. Feel free to give me your feedback in the comments. Also have a look at my Timo Boll Webcoach website. There you will find useful tips and my entire know-how for all techniques. The link is down in the description. Have fun training and learning, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss the next tips.